What's up, movie fans? This is HERO LAIR. My name's Dan. Hanging out with me are these meatheads. Mario, Sean, he's Josh. Hanging out, watching Jimmy Kimmel, and Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch just dropped the very first trailer for Doctor Strange. Here we go.
Very excited for this.
The Marvel Universe expands.
Yeah.
Stephen Strange. My confidence in the best. Forget everything that you think you know.
This might be the ancient one talking.
No, Ancient One's female.
Yeah.
Really? Did not know that.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole. You've spent your life trying to widen it. Your work saved the lives of thousands. What if I told you that reality is one of many?
So then that's
I think that's ancient.
that's the ancient one.
Fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief.
You wonder what I see in your future? Possibility.
Interesting.
That's to smack the soul out of it.
Why are you doing this?
There are other ways to save lives.
Think that might be Mordo?
What you don't know.
Shuita Legion Force Mordo.
Yeah.
God damn.
Kind of like Inception.
That was Inception. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Wow.
The cape of levitation.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that looks pretty epic.
Horse of
Now, by the hoary hosts of Mordo. Yeah.
Hands.
Yeah, yeah.
what it is?
Always like this.
Always
this.
like this,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that. Now, was the ancient one, because again, this is like Strange Comics was a long time ago, like in my childhood. Wasn't the ancient one a
old
male?
Asian man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That was a big point of contention because I forget the actress's name, but she was the Ice Queen in
Yeah, yeah.
Narnia.
I
Yeah,
recognize her.
She's in Constantine.
Yeah,
She always
Gabriel
plays.
and Constantine.
Yeah, sometimes she plays a good androgynous.
Very androgynous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was so it leads an interesting take, but at the same time, it takes away a role from what could have been a really great Asian actor to
Yeah,
play a true ancient one.
Yeah.
Let's see how they go with it. Chiwetel Ejiofor, he's Baron Mordo.
Yeah.
Knew that ahead of time. So come some quick glimpses of him. I couldn't tell if because Doctor Strange is from New York. In
He's
the
a
comics,
physician.
right?
Yeah.
A surgeon,
Yeah.
high-end surgeon
yes,
from
yeah,
New
yeah.
York. I couldn't tell if Cumberbatch is using his British accent though. Could you guys tell? Was he
I
using
thought
an American or a British
No, I
accent?
thought he was using like an American accent.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I didn't get enough.
I didn't focus.
dialogue.
I was just kind of like taken by
The
just
visuals,
whole
yeah,
concept.
definitely caught me. So, what's now for us non-Marvel people? Like, what's a quick synopsis of Doctor Strange? Like,
Doctor Strange is a physician.
Yeah.
His hands, like goes up to like some mountain, meets the ancient one, learns the art of sorcery, becomes sorcerer supreme.
Okay.
And it's
But it's a similar to kind of
The
mirrors that and also mirroring kind of closer to Tony Stark really because he's a cocky bastard.
Yeah.
Cocky bastard
Yeah.
surgeon.
Womanizer.
He only
Yeah.
womanizer drinker, has all the
Yeah.
money
Yes,
in the world,
drinker, yes,
right?
yeah.
So
and
far,
he's,
I'm
and
liking
he's
him,
really
so far I'm
and he's
enjoying
really
him.
only after and he's only after high-end cases, stuff that'll help his rep. Right? If you're not a big
Okay,
enough
yeah,
case, he doesn't have time for you, right? He's a very cocky guy, gets into a car accident, mangles his hands, and then pretty much ruins his fortune trying to seek cures all over the world and pretty much
for
just,
his hands because he needs his
for
hands.
his
Yeah,
hands,
of course,
right,
because he needs
right.
to be a surgeon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And rather than just kind of retire and go off, he's just consumed with trying to heal himself. And he'll pretty much anyone that'll take money for some crazy out of the box treatment, he goes for pretty much blows his entire wealth.
Oh, that sounds really
depths, and then he stumbles across.
Yeah, and so that's kind of his reboot in terms of his
exactly.
social, in terms of his consciousness and his reboot of his morality. It's like the hit rock bottom. He actually becomes homeless, right? He actually becomes homeless, and then I think that's when you see him in the streets.
Yeah.
he's all
right there.
grizzled up.
Yeah,
with the Vietnam.
and then he starts from the bottom, and that's kind
Very-
of a reset to his life and a new
very
path.
Batman
In a
Begins
Marvel-
almost in that year.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, Batman.
Very much.
In the Marvel universe, he's kind of like a really big player. He's part of the Illuminati. So in the Illuminati, he's like Professor X, Black Bolt, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, and Iron Man.
So
and they basically
the intelligent elites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So, go ahead.
So it's like they're in control of each major group, and they basically decide what they're gonna do, and they organize
that's pretty
together, but
cool.
nobody knows about them.
And the big thing about him is once he does come into his powers, that Strange is essentially, just like Green Lantern is the guardian of the galaxy, Strange is essentially the guardian of Earth and the earthen realm, essentially, from magics, right? So what I find what is really interesting about this is that, we've all spoken before about how much we love certain DC Vertigo comics. Like,
Yeah,
we've
of
been talking
course.
about Sandman, and like
Darkness
the
and
dark and
yeah.
the interesting kind of nature that Sandman has. I was a fan of. I don't know if you guys have read, any of you have read Books of Magic by DC, their Vertigo line, but the Vertigo line has a really interesting, just kind of feel to it, and
Like
this
occultism
is
and
yes,
whatnot,
and
yeah.
this is, I think, like the first time we're really to this degree. Like Ghost Rider deals with mysticism, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all.
They're going full on LSD trip.
They're going
fucking
the very
DMT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very occult,
Yeah.
very grounded, very kind of bleak outlook to the soul at first, right? And then this transcendence, and they're doing it in a really interesting way, I think. And I find that is going to be really cool to have the Marvel universe dipping into the occult like that, like a Constantine,
Yeah.
like a anything like that from Vertigo line.
It'll really be a big kind of first, especially in the current existing Marvel world. It's one that even though I'm not the hugest fan and I don't know a ton of the lore, I've read. Most of it comes from either the animated movie, which is pretty good, and watch that. I think it's Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme, maybe come out like 6 years ago or so, animated. If you want to just get up to speed and learn about the character, that's great. But as Sean said, he's involved in so many of the big event storyline tie-ins. Like he's involved in all the tie-ins of Civil War and stuff. So
World War Hulk.
he's involved in all that, right?
okay.
So to introduce that character now, cinematically it offers just some crazy visuals, which they were they didn't hold back on it at all.
Soul slap.
Like in 3D, I can imagine they're putting a ton of effort into making it you just be losing your mind. But he also plays such a pivotal role with just the Avengers themselves and all the main characters. So it opens it up completely. I'm wondering how, because everything's always been tied in and they're connecting. So the rumor is that his kind of tie-in will be, spoilers for Ant-Man, but when Ant-Man went subatomic and he entered that quantum realm, the rumor is that will be the loose connection to Doctor Strange, where he's able to interact with that realm
because
as well.
he moves in and out of dimensionality.
Metaphysical kind of things and things like that. He has the power to move from there, and that's where a lot of demons can come from as well. So that may be the tie-in.
So what they're going to do is they're going to have his ability to, like, as he often does, astral project. Like his projecting, what they're going to show is that, like, it's a dimensional projection, right? So he'll go to that, essentially the quantum realm. He'll do it not through science, but through what is maybe a different kind of science.
Yeah.
What we understand to be magic.
Right? Which they've been trying to do a lot. Like they did that with Thor, right? Where they're saying, our before your science caught up, you thought we were gods. So you might as well, you call it magic, we call it Asgardian technology.
Exactly.
And that's what I was gonna say. Is like I remember we were talking during the Suicide Squad trailer reaction about how that was the first time they really introduced magic. But I'd say that this is really the first time Marvel is introducing magic, because before with Thor, it's like they kind of explained it,
and
it's
it's
like,
extraterrestrial. Like it's got
and it's like the even the creatures were actual. They made them sound like aliens,
Right.
you know what I mean, from other planets. But now it's like this is like magic.
This is
Demons,
the edge,
spells.
Dormammu,
within
Spells
the
and
world,
everything.
within our known world.
Yeah.
So it's not anything extraterrestrial whatsoever.
Exactly.
No, it
And-
sounds really cool.
Yeah, and the cast, like they went all out. We already mentioned, well, Benedict Cumberbatch speaks for
Yeah.
himself. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Oscar winner, and the main villain. And I think we saw very quickly the guy who was kind of like his eyes were all kind of
painted
fucked
up.
up.
Yeah.
That's Hannibal, Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, he's awesome.
So we don't know what villain he's playing. It's rumored that he may be Nightmare. It's rumored that he may be
Dormammu.
Does he-
Dormammu.
Could be
Does he
Dormammu.
cry blood?
We don't know
Because
but-
he's kind of like, there's a one shot when he looks up and he's in the midst of all this twisting
Yeah.
reality, which could lend to like a Dormammu, right?
Yeah,
Because
could
he's
be.
like a master of dimensions
Yeah.
as well, right?
But they're fucking loading up
Yeah.
on this from visual. I think the director that they had, I can't remember his name, and I'm sorry. We're amateur. I don't do that much. I don't do fucking prep. I'm too busy watching shows. But they were talking about, because all the movies have a flavor, right? There's the space opera and the comedy with Guardians, the so-called heist movie with Ant-Man. I didn't really see it, but and the Winter Soldier was the political thriller.
Yeah.
That this would get as close to horror, a horror
yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
and a suspense movie
Yeah.
as the Marvel Cinematic Universe would stretch.
And-
So
and-
that means more of what you said, demons,
Exactly. And that's,
metaphysical things happening. Right?
and that's where I find it.
cult
That's where I find it's a cult connection
Yeah.
to kind of like a DC Vertigo line, because the appeal of that line is its carnality, is its darkness, is that aspect to it. And I think so that when Marvel, which is a bit more Disney-esque, shall we say, like more, it's when we look at Ultron and the jokes he's cracking, and you don't see as much of I think this is an interesting line to this.
So there's no like sinister. We haven't seen
Yeah.
anything sinister. We haven't
Yeah.
seen anything past that point where they could get into like like you said, anything in the vertical line has always been like my forte. Whether it be Swamp Thing, Constantine, like any of those, even like the Killing, like even anything from Alan Moore when he went over in a regular DC and the Killing Joke and whatnot. That's where you like the writing and things really got dark and became adult. So this kind of definitely has that flavor in the trailer. At least.
What do you guys think Doctor Strange will mean for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Is he gonna be a major game changer, or do you think it's gonna be?
Oh, he's got to be. I mean, you don't get a big actor like him to not take over in a major role. I think some shit's gonna go down in Infinity War Part 1, and I think he's gonna obviously be like the Eye of Agamotto might actually be maybe an Infinity Stone, because we're still missing some stones, like that necklace that he wears. So there's that tie-in, and I think they may have to rely on him to, if some people die or if something gets wiped out, maybe rely on him to either reset things or try to battle Thanos in a different way.
combat Thanos,
Or
right?
that would be
sure.
the big thing, right?
For sure.
Either he's involved in Infinity War, got it.
Yeah.
So however they tie it in, right? I mean, because I don't think he's ever time traveled before, but
I can't remember.
I don't think so. But with all those gems and all those stones that have been pulled together, like the Reality Stone and the Time Stone. I forget which ones are which, because the Tesseract means something. There's some really good.
Yeah, the Sidorak-
This is where I insert the graph. That some fucking movie geek has linked them all up. And I forget which one they're predicting that the Eye of Agamotto actually holds, but it could have. So if he can travel through dimensions, what's to say that he can do some sort of time travel, or at least affect some sort of. Pretty much bring someone back from the dead if they.
Well, you're not beyond the realm of possibility.
Exactly,
I mean, like
yeah.
when we're talking about Strange, Doctor Strange, the limit is not even the sky, right?
That's what I'm guessing. So who knows? But just from a visual standpoint, it looks very, very trippy.
Yeah.
Very cool. Kind of like, you remember that movie The Cell? With
God, with
Where do you come from?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. movie was terrible, but they went for it visually with
Yeah.
the weird,
Yeah.
psychosomatic kind of like acid trip on the screen kind of thing. We barely saw anything, but the Ancient One's not working for me, at least in that one clip. It looked weird when she popped up. I was like, oh,
She's kind of funny. It's like
I was like, oh, Alien 3.
I would prefer like a nice guapo and like like old.
Fu
like,
Manchu.
Yes, exactly. Like very like long eyebrows
Yeah.
and just like maybe not that stereotypical, but someone who looks even if it's a female, looks more wizened, more.
Pai Mei.
Sorry.
Pai Mei from Kill Bill. Like,
Oh, right. Well, you know, like just someone that looks really worldly and worldly through centuries almost. Like I want someone who's like an ancient one. That does not look like an ancient one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm basing it on 2 seconds of 2 seconds.
Yeah,
of
but you got to
teaser
see what she
trailer.
looked like. I mean, she looks pretty sprightly, and it just doesn't look like an ancient one to me. I don't know.
Who knows?
No, I agree. I don't really see the need for a female H1. I mean, I'm a firm believer of the best actors should get the role.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, if it was for having a female H1, okay, but I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really see the need.
And especially
Should have been in other
And
parts.
especially if we're looking at an ancient one, I mean, fine, yes, we're all for gender equality, but if they're from an ancient time, then it was the men that were being trained in these kind of arts and disciplines, right? So that would just make sense, right? It's not she's not a modern age person. She's an ancient one.
But
So
boy, did she slap the soul out of
yeah,
That was some,
Imagine having that power.
yeah,
that was some Shang Tsung type
Yeah.
shit.
yeah.
So
is mine.
I used to, my mom used to do that. Like, slap soul out. It was like a visual representation.
Bad memories. All right. Other than that, it looks great. Fucking take all my money, Marvel. Just take it all. All of it.
Make it rain.
Let us know if you're excited for the teaser trailer, what you think of what you've seen. Disagree with anything we said, if you're happy with how the H1 looks or the other A-list actors they brought in. How do you think Doctor Strange is going to tie in into Infinity War? Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the Hero Lair. Please subscribe. Get us to 10,000 subscribers.
do it, guys.
We're fun. You're having fun watching it. Look at the comments. Lots of people enjoy hanging out with us.
Now watch the comments and be like, screw you! Just out of pure spite.
Exactly. Troll.
We welcome all activity. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Be back again soon. See ya.
See you soon.
Ciao.